It has been a really positive autumn. Good start against New Zealand, unbelievable performance against Australia. Not just the fact that we won, but the fact that it was the way that we won. Back down to earth with a bit of a bang against Samoa, but nonetheless ground out a pretty hard-fought victory. So I think we've made great progress, but there will be a bitter taste in the mouth if England don't finish it off with a victory, because trust me, as a sportsman, the one game you remember is the last game you played. So I think England will want to sort of really drive that message home and say, and also it's a chance to take a Southern Hemisphere scalp and actually tip the hat to the rest of the world and say, do you know what, guys, we're back. Well, I think consistency is the key, and I think as any sportsman will tell you that the real measure of quality is consistency. We played unbelievably well against Australia. We've got another victory against Samoa. This would represent the chance to put our fourth consecutive victory together and really set us up nicely for the Six Nations. There's still a lot more tests ahead for this England team. It's a young, evolving England side. The future's looking very bright, but sport is about the here and now, and we've got to go down to Wales on a Friday night. South Africa managed to win down there. Australia managed to win down there. So there are still some questions around the challenges ahead. But certainly, England have done a great job so far. And as I said, if we can get a great victory against South Africa, which will be hard fought, make no mistake, it'll be tough. But I think we're good enough to do it.
Martin Johnson has had a lot of stick thrown his way, and it seems like he is answering those critics at last.
Well, results help. I mean, I think he knows as well as anyone that in sport we're in a results-driven business, and people have only questioned him and his team because we've been losing games. And I think all you can do is stay true to your principles. He's been very loyal as a coach, not only to his coaches but to the players. The players are now looking much fitter. They are reporting in fit, which helps. I mean, if you look at the team this autumn as opposed to last year, completely different. And one or two players are finding some form. So, yeah, it helps enormously when you put together some results and starts to give you confidence and belief. And I think that's certainly what's happened with this England team.
And it seems like there is a young generation who can achieve great things here.
Yeah, it is, and they're players that are all playing well at club level as well. And I think when you play well at club level, you then take that form onto the international stage. It takes time for that to stick, And those players are players now who have got a handful of caps each, and they're starting to feel like they belong on the international stage. They're starting to understand and enjoy that whole atmosphere of playing in front of thousands of people, because they are big games, and every move you make and everything you do well, and more importantly, every mistake you make can be costly one way or another. So I think it takes time suddenly to get used to that, and those players are now. And as I said, the future now looks very bright.
You think the characters are there who can fulfil those roles and can lead from every area?
Well, what I would say with leadership is that there's two types of leadership. There's leading a team that's winning, and then there's leading a team that's losing. When a team is winning, all of a sudden you look around the field and there's lots of leaders. When you're in a losing side and you're getting beaten not just by a few points but heavily, it takes a very different type of person, because that's tough. And what this England team has had is some really poor results, and all of a sudden everyone said they've got no leaders. Now all of a sudden we're winning, and players sort of grow into the role.
It seems like maybe this isn't the South African team that we've seen in recent years.
Well, they've had it pretty good. I mean, for quite a long time. So I suppose it's inevitable that you can't stay at the top forever. And they won the World Cup. They beat the Lions. I mean, they conquered the whole world, and they won the Tri-Nations. So they're having they're going through a bit of a rebuild. They're missing some of their best players. They're desperately missing their scrum half, Dupree, who's been their real kind of talisman going forward. But they're still the Springboks, and trust me, they will come to Twickenham as a side under pressure. They've got a very demanding public back home. They've got a few demanding South Africans here as well, actually. So they will be. They will come out and give England a real game. And if they can beat England in their last game, then they finish their tour on a high. So, from their point of view, I would say that they're still a very dangerous side. You don't become a bad side after one defeat. In fact, you become a much more determined side after losing to Scotland. on the flip side of that, there's probably never a better time for England to play them. You know, they are at the end of a very long season. This is their last game. You know, they have got the air of a team who are clutching their boarding passes and probably quite looking forward to getting on the plane back to South Africa and getting a rest. So, you know, this is the time to play them. And England are at the opposite end of the spectrum. They're confident. They've only played half, dozen games or whatever, and they're ready for it.